I read newspapers as you do. It's two major miners, and any change will obviously change the industry. But other than that, there's also a lot of rumors in the press that I can't comment on. We don't comment on rumors.
Are they assets you'd like? Would Rio enter a race for Anglo American?
I have read something in the newspapers, but I can't comment on that. Both companies are very big, iconic companies, but I have nothing to comment on my two competitors. My focus is on running Rio Tinto at its best.
There's no denying, though, that demand for copper and other future-facing commodities will continue to increase as we decarbonise the globe. Where are you driving investment in that space?
No, absolutely, and we have a great copper business. We are joint venture partner with BHP in the world's largest copper mine, Escondida, and right now we have invested for many years successfully in the Oyu Tolgoi copper mine in Mongolia. It's ramping up, and when it is fully ramped up, it's going to be the world's fourth largest copper mine. And we got a number of other opportunities. I recently went to Chile, where we've gone into a joint venture with Codelco called Nuevo Copra. So we actually have a lot of opportunities in copper, and we are growing our copper business. As we have said at our Capital Markets Day last year, we are going to double the copper production in this decade.
You also have lithium in your portfolio. I wonder, how do you see these future-facing commodities as part of Rio's overall mix in, say, 10 years from now?
Yeah, look, we have a world-class iron ore business, and it's going to be a great business. It is a great business today. It will be so in a decade's time, in 2 decades' time, in 3 decades' time. The world needs steel. But there's clearly a lot of growth coming from what I would call critical minerals for the energy transition. That includes our major aluminium business. We are the Western world's largest producer of aluminium. We also, as we just talked about, a big producer of copper. And right now we are entering the lithium business. I recently went to Argentina, where we are building our first lithium mine. We will be producing lithium from December this year. So it is exciting times, and I like the idea of us investing where there's growth, because that's where the world needs new mines, and that's really our purpose, on finding better ways to provide the materials the world needs.
Of course, as you mentioned, iron ore remains your biggest asset class, but it is a commodity that's seen price pressures impact margins. How are you overcoming that?
No, look, you're absolutely right, but we are very fortunate from our predecessors that has built this business, that we have a very, very competitive business. We have low cost, we have major resources, and therefore, even when prices goes down, we have a fairly profitable business.
Your Simandou project in Guinea is one of the largest, highest grade iron ore deposits in the world. So can the Pilbara maintain its global dominance in the market, given you're investing there as well?
Well, the reality is, by far, the Pilbara, amongst all the competitors in the Pilbara, are the major producer of iron ore to the world's steel mills, and it will continue to be so for many, many decades. But the world needs more. The world has around 1.9 trillion tons a year of seaborne iron ore. The Simandou project will be around 120 million tons, so it's only around 5-6% of the world's supply of iron ore, so it's not going to fundamentally change it.
China's property sector used 296 million tonnes of steel in 2019. The RBA expects demand to fall by 80% to just 58 million tonnes by 2050. That's a huge drop in demand. So where does that leave companies like Rio Tinto?
Yeah, I think it's always very difficult to see demand from individual countries. I think the way to look at it is just the world is growing, and the world demand for steel will be growing. It's clear that there will be more recyclability, which is of course good for the planet, and it means that whereas there will be growth for steel, there might be a little bit less growth for iron ore, but it's a massive market that the world needs in the future. Basically, the way you see this, when a country goes through a development, it needs a lot of steel. Right now, China is at kind of peak steel, whereas another country like India is only on its way up. India will consume much more iron ore in the years to come.
Jakob Stausholm, thank you.
Thank you. Good to talk to you.